it, everybody, after a little bit of a break for my birthday, where I had a nice get-together with family, and I also got together with some friends at a cottage where I didn't look at it. Oh, it's a little kitty. I didn't look at a screen, a TV screen, a video game screen, or a telephone screen for an entire day. It was glorious. Had a wonderful time. But it really did take me too long to get back into this game. Should be pretty much daily going forward, with some little breaks every once in a while. I'm just playing a lot of games right now, so I'm doing my best to split my time between them. So I guess we're back in the town now. We probably have to make some, maybe some important choices about our party. We could sell all of the gear that we found. And I also might change up my class, because one of you mentioned that there might be a class that's more appropriate for what I want to do. But we'll take a look at that when we can get to it, now that we know a little bit more about the game. Looks like we've got some loot from... You acquired this item while exploring Grey Garrison. Okay. Boots. Unidentified boots. An unidentified amulet. And head chomper. What? Summons a pet owl cat. Hey, wasn't I supposed to have a cat familiar with my class? I could have sworn I was supposed to have that, but... I don't know. Maybe you guys can let me know how that all works. Owlcat's feral instincts provide +2 morale bonus on perception and lore nature checks. Oh, that's how I feel too. I'm still recovering from the weekend. Okay, so what did we just get? Can I... Date from newest to oldest. Nice. Head chopper. Can be used by this character. Oh, it's an item. Let's level 2, level 1. Let's replace that. Haven't had much luck with the scrolls either so far. Silver Tongue Amulet. This amulet grants its wearer a +2 competence bonus on persuasion skill checks. That's perfect. Free Dancer's Boots. These boots grant their wearer a +2 competence bonus on saving throws against movement impairing conditions. Sounds great. Yeah, the reason why I might want to switch up Witch of the Veil is, as far as I can understand it, the main benefit of this character is this Shrouded Step, which I don't think is that great for a caster, but because I'm not really doing much sneaky stuff with the character. I guess it gets me out of some tight situations, though. All right, let's start wandering. Oh, it's Nevia. Hey, wait. Mind if I bend your ear about something? Nevia is outside your door, leaning casually against a shelf. So, here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission. I get that. And I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action. But here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? Stay of execution. The brave souls gathered in Defender's heart survived the first attack. Man, I'll have to read that after. So, the rift that damned beetle left with its scythe. Yeah, well, it cut the city into two, and it's kind of difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. I guess that's probably where we started the game. Not that any of them tried to make sure, but if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're gonna have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Okay. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? Divided city. There should be a way to get across the rift that divides the city, according to Nevia. Okay. You... What? No. No. Your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy, like, waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, all right? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile. Got it? Okay, got it. When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here. They could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know. After they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you'd better do it soon. All right, thanks for the warning. See you later. Later. Watch yourself out there. I guess that's to let me know that the town's about to get fucked up. Staunton. This is the one that was had a little fling with the demon lady, right? The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel. One whose high, crumbling walls are still holding fast, but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumors about me. His face, which looks like it has never known anything, as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the Storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? Ah, there we go. The Storyteller, Staunton strokes his beard and thought, a strange fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours, asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort. He just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later, I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library. Here. I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. It's been added to our map, I guess. What is it that people say about you? Okay, it's been added. They say I'm a traitor. As bad as Aurilu Vorlesh. So Aurilu Vorlesh. Hardly any name arouses so much rage among crusaders as the name of Aurilu Vorlesh, a Sarkorian witch who initiated the opening of the World Wound, and then made it expand. Almost nothing is known about her life before the atrocity, except that Aurilu was condemned for using arcane magic, which was persecuted in Sarkoris, and imprisoned in the Tower of Threshold near the City of Eyes. This is where Aurilu conducted the ritual that paved the way for the demonic invasion, and left her land to be tormented by the demon lord Discari. I'm more familiar with Discari. In some mysterious way, the witch transformed herself, turning from a regular human into a half-demon. Over the following century, Crusaders only encountered Aurilu or the results of her experiments a few times. We'll learn nothing more of Discari's henchwoman. She holds a high position in the ranks of the Army of the Abyss, and holds the title of World Wound Architect. That I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of the condemned. The Queen Galfrey should never have spared me. That I belong on the gallows. The Queen. Queen Galfrey is the absolute monarch of the Crusader state of Mendev, and leader of the Mendevian Crusades. Well, today the name of the Crusader Queen is known throughout the Inner Sea region. It's easy to forget that Galfrey did not start her rule of Mendev as a paladin of Iomade, but rather of Arodin. When the World Wound opened and forever changed Mendev, Galfrey was still an untested young ruler who was forced to deal with the death of her god. Well, that's got to be a tough one. While simultaneously rallying her nation against the abyssal threat to the west. She rose to the challenge, however, and her leadership was instrumental over the next several years, not only in protecting Mendev from demonic invasions, but also in holding the border against the World Wound. When the Church of Iomade organized the First Crusade, it joined forces with Mendev to push back the demonic armies. During these battles, Galfrey, time and time again, distinguished herself with a keen grasp of tactics and skill at leadership. Oops. But this inspiration went both ways. In the Church of Iomade, Galfrey found something to replace her lost faith. By the time the First Crusade ended, with the apparent defeat of the demon armies, Galfrey had... Oh my god, there's more. Galfrey had converted and become a worshipper of Iomade, and had completely retrained herself as one of the Inheritor's most devout paladins. Eager to retain such a valuable leader at the head of the Crusades, the Church of Iomade twice purchased and presented to the Queen the rare and expensive Sun Orchid Elixir, which extends immortal life beyond its usual span. We need to get a hold of that. Thanks to this boon, the Queen has lived and led the Crusaders for more than a century. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look, then sighs. I am the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in the fortresses on the edge of the World Wound. Instead of bringing the fight to the demons, We used to have a foothold in the wound. The mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. Kind of got a taste for that. They had the conversation with the demon. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I live, decade after decade, fighting in the condemned. Dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I have fixed nothing, and I have earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. Spit, son. Wait. But we're cool with, if we're evil, we want that to happen, right? So we would like... I guess we're evil, right? The dwarf casually wipes his face. He looks at you calmly as though nothing happened. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a condemned, go ask somebody else. Like my little brother Joran. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. So many years in the condemned, surely you have paid for your penance by now. It's not up to me to decide. My life is in the queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment. And then in a trembling voice, he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. Okay, what's the condemned? Military unit made up of petty criminals conscripted as disposable soldiers and frontline fodder in the Mendevian Crusades. See, this is a nice short description. This game is going to kill my voice. I hope more of it's voice acted. It's going to be a long haul, everybody. All these years, I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priests. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. It seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I was completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me, like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Forget about Torag, you're just rubbing salt in the wound. The gods don't care about us. They don't deserve our prayers, let alone our suffering. Oh, cool. Yeah. I can't. An atheist can't understand how it feels when your god renounces you. Just as one who's never loved can never understand how it feels when your beloved betrays you. I gotta go over there. Go on then, maybe we'll see each other again. Friendly? How come I can't get this to go away? Not even using that. Oh, Camellia. We got a crusader here. Canabra still has some fight in it. We'll make those demons rue the day they came here. Camellia looks you over pensively, toying with the snake-shaped bone amulet that dangles from her pale neck. Noticing your glance, she flashes you a cold, barely there smile. Greetings. It seems for a moment that the girl wants to say something else, but the pause grows too long. She slips back into cautious silence. Tell me about yourself, Camellia. You want to know more about me than you already do? Why? Camellia arches a dainty brow. I talk to the spirits of this tormented land, and they guide me in battle. I'll help you fight the demons, and I swear that you can rely on me in this matter. Isn't that sufficient? Where did you learn to wield a rapier so well? I had good teachers, although they don't get all the credit. I am a most diligent student. Camellia licks her parched lips. Your amulet is quite unusual. Where did you get it? Ah, my little trinket. It's so nice of you to notice, but I assure you, this amulet is nothing but a bauble. Can a lady not be drawn to beautiful, useless things? It also hides my alignment, because I'm evil. Anyway, as much as I enjoy our delightful conversations, the spirits are calling me, and I must respond. By spirits, does she mean the, like, drink spirits? Please excuse me. Camellia turns away, watching you out of the corner of her eye. Oh, Horgus. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface, and I duly paid you for escorting me. Horgus Worm always keeps his word. Now, speaking of our future cooperation, Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter. Do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight, perhaps, noble of heart, but without a coin to your name? Orcus sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves. So why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? I failed a perception check. Horgus seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. Yes. Yes. Horgus puts his hand on his hips. Oh, really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Worm how to address the rabble. All right, what kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins. Horgus replies without hesitation. Double the reward and I'll think about it. DC 23 and I have +9. Yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Call for yourself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. All right. What's the job? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabres. I still have... Well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were still able to hold the mansion during the attack. And I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what's happened there since. Therefore, I would ask you to meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. It's Abadar. The god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth, also called the god of walls and ditches in the Eastern Dragon Empires. Okay. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they have no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors. That's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She's of noble birth, after all. Okay. Marvelous, most excellent. Horgus's face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry unless you want me to lower your reward. All right. We got experience too. I heard an army's on its way here from Erosion. It's my paladin voice. Gemel Hawks? A strange figure towers over the bar, a huge ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal parts lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hands looks dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those callous fingers would be enough to crush it. Gold medallion engraved with a tankard gleams around his neck. What'll it be? Oh, look at this. Lore religion check pass. The medallion you're wearing, that's a sacred symbol, isn't it? Are you a cleric of Caden Kalien? I'm a tavern keeper, best in the city. The best there's ever been. And I pray to the best god there is. Okay, show me what you have. Aha! Does he have a gold amount? Doesn't look like it. So I could just sell all my stuff. I have 20 scroll of inflict light wounds. Holy shit. How about we sell like 15? I should go for this first, right? Not accessories. Not usable. This is... No, not notable. Where's like the stuff for selling? Other, okay. Just says green quartz. I guess I just sell all this stuff. Bulk selling. I don't know what just... So, okay. Why didn't we sell honey? I guess that's for cooking? This might take a little bit of time. I don't... Long spear. Do I really need all this stuff? Probably not. What if I do bulk selling? Masterwork, non-magical, other. Interesting. Marching Terror. That sounds awesome. I want one of those. I want one bastard sword. Okay. Sure. 2 darts could be useful. These aren't masterwork, these are just regular. I already have a good rapier. Okay. These aren't masterwork. Sure. Hang on to that. Lakata, sure. Just regular. Sell those. 3 light crossbows. Oh, can I just right click? Can be equipped. How come that's all of a sudden like kind of faded out? What did I do? I did something wrong. Let's keep that. Masterwork dagger. Okay, we'll hang on to that. Okay. Armor. Padded armor, chain shirt. Leather armor, scale mail. Half plate. Chain shirt. Man, this game's so complicated, isn't it? Okay. They don't want to buy the accessories? What about all this stuff? These don't weigh anything. Well, for the most part. I'm good with keeping these scrolls. Okay. Deal. I'm still super overloaded. Bucket. I'm gonna get more of all this stuff, aren't I? Am I still overloaded? Really? By that much? But I got rid of all the armor. Guess all this stuff is quite heavy. Oh, and it's just me that's in the party, so I'm sure that makes a big difference too, right? That just occurred to me. Our rate level's going to go up as we get more party members. Cabra still has some fight in it. We'll make those demons rue the day they came here. I heard an army is on its way here from Nerosian. Sounds like they're all saying the same stuff. Eagle Watch Crusader, that's a new one. How much longer can we hold out? A day? 2? Survivors. Oh, Window Egg, yes. Window Egg's tense stance reveals her constant vigilance. Her eyes are focused and resolute. Noticing you, she lets you speak first, bowing respectfully. Mistress, I am at your service. I want to know more about you. Underground warrior looks flattered, raising her chin proudly. You can ask me anything, mistress. What do you think of life on the surface? Window Egg scoffs arrogantly. Life among the uplanders, you mean? Your customs are strange. The huntress casts a glance at you and corrects herself quickly. I mean theirs, not yours, mistress. You are strong and clever. But I look at the other uplanders and wonder. Have you seen how proud they are of their weakness? Look, my hands are so soft. I have never done anything with them in my entire life, because noble blood runs through my veins. What does it matter who someone's parents are? I'm the daughter of a former chief of the tribe, so what? Is this what they respect and fear me for? Sel became the chief because he was old, experienced and smart. After him, I might have become the chief, because I am strong and even smarter. But these weaklings wouldn't have lasted a day in our caves. Window Egg's eyes narrow wearily. Everything is strange here, but it's all right, mistress. We'll put things right, won't we? Tell me about your life in the caves. Life was better than an uplander might think. You're surrounded by rock on all sides. It's sturdy, dependable. When you hide in a crack, you know for sure you're safe. Not like here. All this empty space around you. You always have to be on guard in case an arrow flies from any direction and hits you. Life underground is calmer somehow. Sure, there's less food in the caves than here, but the amount of food the uplanders have, it's too much. Don't you see, mistress, how many fat uplanders there are? Why do they eat so much? Like cattle fattened up to make for tastier meat. We only had one fat person in our tribe, and that was Sul. And he was only fat because he was old. But up here, everything just seems fairer in the caves. When there isn't enough food for the weak, they die. The lazy die. The sick in the head and the body die. Only the strong and skilled survive, and the blood becomes thicker, tougher. What happened between you and Lan? Window Egg shrugs disdainfully. He is a good hunter, but not too clever. Bit of an idiot, really. He was the strongest in the tribe after me. That's why I kept him close. His heart is soft, unlike his body. The huntress smiles shamelessly. Wait, are they implying that there was they had like a little tryst? But then I met you and I didn't need Lan anymore. Now I only want to hunt with you. I can tell you're proud of your strength. Window Egg throws her shoulders back proudly. Of course! Let everyone see who is standing before them. The weak must obey the strong, if they don't want to be reminded of their place. Even when I was a snot-nosed little cave rat, I could bring nethers? I could bring nethers twice my age to here, because I fear nothing, and no one, pain least of all. I was showered with praise and compliments. The best hunters of the other tribes wanted me. But what did that matter to me? The moment you start listening to flattery is the moment you get soft and you die. No, I always pushed myself further, challenging myself, taking myself to the very edge. Many times I almost died, but I always came back stronger. I learned all my strength on my own. And if anyone didn't respect that, I just grabbed my knife. That's why I became the best hunter in the tribes. Just taking a drink of water. On the surface, your people are called mongrels, but I take it you didn't like that term. Hunter shrugs her shoulders. Let the uplanders call us whatever they want. It doesn't matter. I know what they're trying to do by giving us that stupid nickname. They are asserting their status and superiority over us. But it's normal to try and dominate a stranger you just met. It's expected. When my kin conquer the lands on the surface, people will call us by whatever name we choose. Why do you serve me? Why do I give you a bland smile? Because you are winning, and I want to be with the winner. I don't like sharing food and fire with weaklings. I prefer people like you. And also because being close to you is a good way to live. I love life. I'm young and strong. It makes sense to eat, drink, screw, and kill enemies while you're young. Not when you are 30,000 gongs old and shriveled up like a Sull, or like Sull. As long as I'm your servant, I can have fun as I like and order around anyone I want. Who will dare defy me? No one. Her eyes drift half closed in smug satisfaction. Kill for me and you will get everything you've been dreaming of. Wenrek shoots you a fiddle grin. It's good we understand each other, mistress. As we never say, we hunt in the same cave. Everything's clear to me now. Oh, I see. There's so much dialogue, eh? Let's talk about you serving Hosilla. Certainty sparks in Wendoeg's eyes. She curls her spider legs on her back closer to her body. Of course, mistress, but now I only serve you. Someone said something about me. What did you do for the demons? I brought my kin to their lair so they could join the demon army and accept the power given to them. I made my tribe stronger. Later, once we no longer needed the demons, my powerful kin would have fought for me. The hunter shoots you a grim and bloodthirsty grin. How can I trust you? Wendoeg's voice gains a fervent edge. Why would I betray you, mistress? You are the strongest. It would be stupid to defect to your enemies and die along with them. No, I am not that dumb. Okay, then why did you decide to switch allegiance? I was only serving the demons because they promised me power, and only for as long as they had something to offer me. Wendoeg chuckles, revealing her sharp teeth. But Hosilla can't offer me anything now she's dead. And I was never going to risk my life for her. You are a true leader, one worth following. We've only known each other for like one day, okay? Calm down. Hunter says in a fawning tone. Aren't you ashamed of betraying your kin? Wendoeg replies respectfully but finally. I know that Sull would have called me a traitor, but for one reason only. He grew old and cowardly. I accepted the same fate as my fellow tribesmen. I ate the flesh too. And for many gongs I thrashed with fever, growling like an animal, lunging at anyone and everyone, my body burning from inside. But I handled it because I was the strongest of them all. Not a single day have I regretted the power I gained. And that's why I'm not ashamed of sharing that power with my tribe. Okay. You promised me an army of mongrels. Wendoeg narrows her cat-like eyes. And I will give you one, mistress. But first, we have to rebuff the attack on the city. Sull has spent his entire life preparing for the underground crusaders' return to the surface. And he's not going to take any risks. He will order the tribe to hide in the caves like rats. And he will decide whether they are strong enough to fight side by side with us. Maybe he will decide that it's better to sit this one out and wait for another chance to come along. We have to fend off the demons, win a glorious victory, and show Sull that ours is not a lost cause. Then he will give us his warriors, and then it will be my job to turn them into real soldiers. All right, that's it for now. Thank you for talking to me, mistress. More survivors. Who is Kiado? I believe that help is already on the way. The queen will not leave us to die. There's Visali Rathimus. A stout old man with... I'm sure I'm getting these names totally wrong. A stout old man with a fuzzy gray beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in the tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Oh, scrolls. Okay. Well, who are you? Vasily Rathimus, rector of the local Temple of Abadar. The temple is gone, though. And if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who's that boy with you? This one. Kiado, the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy, and his faith is strong. He serves Erastil. The Old Deadeye and the Stag God. Concerned with family, farming, hunting, and trade. Okay. Serves Erastil, though. But there's still something he can learn from an old servant of Abaddon. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have lots of them. Something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed no surprises. But you'd better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old and my powers are needed here. I can read one for you? Okay. What scrolls are you selling? Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Holy shit. Wands. The skill check. The spell transforms your hands into living stone. That's cool. Molten orb. You create a fist-sized red-hot ball of molten metal that you immediately hurl as a splash weapon. Direct hit deals 2d6 points of fire damage. Every creature within 5 feet of where the ball hits takes 1d6 point of fire damage from the splash. Have by a reflex save. Ooh, look at this. Amulets. I have 2,736 gold. Guardian of Life. As long as the wearer of this amulet is under the effect of the Death Ward spell, they get a +2 morale bonus to AC. Okay. Alchemist Kit. Potions of one level spells. Skull Scriber's Kit. Scroll Scriber's Kit. Okay. Got some ingredients. I'm sure I'll find an Alchemist Kit. Reduce person. Wand of reduce person. Shocking grasp. Enlarge person. Crazy. This is overwhelming. Thank you. Noble Survivor. Where does this go? Outside. Pink Eye. Just listen to this woman. Isn't it amazing how such nonsense can fit into such a small package? Indara. An imposing young Orient is surrounded by a crowd of crusaders who are hanging on her every word. I hope this example clearly illustrates the difference between Jisca, legionnaires from the Last War, and the crusaders. The perfection of form and spirit they were imbued with during creation turned them into parts of a well-balanced war machine. Not a ragtag bunch of individuals, but a united whole. What's the Jisca? First human kingdom to establish itself in the Inner Sea region. After the centuries of darkness and devastation caused by Earthfall. Oh, okay. Now tell me again why I'm supposed to be impressed by your reckless assault, where everyone is fighting for their ego and for the right to beat their peers to a swift but pointless heroic sacrifice? Some of the Crusaders grumble unhappily. It's clear that they are captivated by the woman's words. The only exception is a scraggly and disheveled halfling monk. That would be this one here. His puffy black eye gives him away as a brawler and a troublemaker. Sounds good to me. He enthusiastically pushes forward and tries to engage, but one of his friends swiftly jabs him in the back with an elbow, making the poor fellow pause to catch his breath. Let's listen. The Crusader says, one of the Crusaders angrily curls his fists tightly and retorts with a burst of passion. If those Jis of yours or whatever had come for us, we'd have their guts or got us. You think we've never fought a mighty adversary before? Soldier's stern facade cannot fully conceal his relish. Clearly plans to enjoy this confrontation. Crusaders around him look upon their exotic opponent with a mixture of irritation and piqued interest. The woman chuckles before cutting off her interlocutor. I would love to see you storm a 60-foot-tall walking castle shaped like a gigantic elephant that carries siege fortifications on its back, and I'll have you know these fortifications were defended by Jisca, priest craftsmen armed with demon-bound war machines. They use the enemies cannot defeat as mindless weapons. The woman gives the people around her a triumphant look and adjusts her hair with pointed nonchalance. She doesn't have any hair! Her voice takes on a lecture tone. You should not argue with someone who happens to be the most authoritative researcher on the history of warfare 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. Absalom being for more than 4,000 years, Absalom has been the city at the center of the world. Greatest treasure in all Golarion. Okay. Woman looks at you and flashes at me a smile. The lecture is over. Do my esteemed listeners have any questions? I can just attack them? Who are you? I am Indara, a warrior magus and scholar of classical warfare from Garund. The woman peers at you apprehensively and sighs. I admit that I am mildly offended by the fact that my name is entirely unfamiliar to you, but I'm willing to accept that this is due to Avestan's isolation from the sophisticated culture, the world at large. Come a long way to be here. I like to think of myself as an inhabitant of Golarion, and I don't narrowly identify with any country in particular. Why did you come here? To witness a legendary war. Confrontation between denizens of a plain famous for its love of violence and the crusaders from every continent, united by the common goal of defending their home. An epic struggle of colossal proportions. And hasn't been particularly epic so far, truth be told. Pink eye. The bug with a black eye grins and mutters under his breath. Maybe she just can't see it from here. The view will get way more epic if she stops hiding among us and takes a walk outside. Woman smirks contemptuously. She does not deem the monk's words worthy of comment. Looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Doing a commendable job. Yeah, we're going to ask her. We're going to say, looks like you know more about warfare than any of us. Oh, am I hearing things, or did someone finally acknowledge my competence in the art of warfare? Perhaps there is a sufficiently open-minded person among the Crusaders after all. I find myself pleasantly surprised. Why don't you join the Crusaders and show them how fighting should be done? No, I am a historian, an analyst, a theorist. Do you know what these three words have in common? They describe a mortal woman who does not participate in the conflict upon which her thesis will be founded. But then again, I will hardly be able to describe this mess as anything other than a feeble likeness of the Last War of Jisca. The monk with the damaged eye grins slyly and comments. The more dangerous the upcoming scuffle is, the more motivated we are to find clever and pretty words to justify not actually doing the fighting. What is this last war you mentioned? The Last War of Jisca, of course, a large-scale conflict that took place 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom. It was a war against the Osirian pharaoh of forgotten plagues. The war that ended the legendary Jisca Imperium. An epic struggle that became the most vibrant page in military history. Alas, all conflicts that followed it were just a pale shadow, including the one I'm witnessing here. Why do you find the Last War of Jisca so inspiring? Imagine legions of golems imbued with extraplanar spirits marching into battle. Imagine flying cities that swoop out of the clouds like terrifying monstrous birds of prey to drop forces on top of enemy castles. Picture gigantic mechanisms powered by captive and very angry demons and devils. Imagine standing in the warpath of walking citadels, or having to cover your ears to block out the sound of cannons loaded with shrieking elementals. Finally, imagine the ultimate weapon that defeated the Jisca, the deadly night plague. This affliction was an attack dog, a trained epidemic, a tamed pestilence, striking only those who its master wanted to kill. Imagine all these terrors and understand that no flight of fancy can even come close to the horrors of the nightmares that they made real. Wow, that does sound pretty awesome. How do you know about so much about Jisca's Last War? I can say, without false modesty, that there is no more authoritative researcher on Golarion When it comes to the history of warfare, 3,000 years before the foundation of Absalom, I've dedicated my whole life to this subject. I've personally visited old battlefields and studied the most mysterious and forbidden archives containing chronicles of ancient wars, sometimes risking my life in the process. I saw a fallen sky city of the Shori Empire with my own eyes. I'd ripped out the control crystal from an exterminator class combat golem that guarded a Jisca laboratory with my own hands. These fingers held the glass flask that servants of Pharaoh Forgotten Plagues used to create the first generation of pestilence that devastated the Jisca Imperium. How do I know so much? I saw and touched everything I am telling you about. I don't have time for idle chit-chat. It's not like bickering in a dirty tavern was the height of my aspirations. I wonder if I could bring them along. They seem pretty cool. Like, very unique compared to the other people that we spoke to. So we've got Hyler. A tall, athletic man greets you. His hair is prematurely gray, shorn close to his head in a military style. He is lean and well-groomed, and a monocle twinkles coldly in his eye. The bold set of his jaw, his large but agile frame attests that here's a man who is always ready to be on the move. Greetings, I am Hylor, Venture Captain of the Pathfinder Society. I am the superior officer among Pathfinders in this region of Mendev. However, the Society is running almost no operations here right now, besides me. There are almost no Pathfinders here. Actually, I'm only stuck here because of an old feud with a demon worshipper known as the Spinner of Nightmares. I had to work alone, without the support of the Society. But I've made a lot of acquaintances among the local mercenaries and daring fighters. If you need any good fighters for an honest cause, talk to me. What is the Spinner of Nightmares? Tell me about that. It all began with a task of the Pathfinder Society, which is globe-spanning organization based in Absalom. The membership consists primarily of Pathfinders, adventurers who travel throughout Golarion, usually inconspicuously, and explore. This is the name of the game, by the way. Pathfinder. Explore, delve, and otherwise experience the lesser-seen parts of the world. They send journals documenting their travels back to their venture captains, who also assign them new missions and suggest new places to explore. Most exciting and illuminating of these journals are compiled in the Pathfinder Chronicles, an ongoing series of books that collect the history and mystery of Golarion for its membership and the general public. I arrived in Erosion with my team to investigate the sudden death of a famous crusader, Baron Falren. We soon focused on a small hospital for the wealthy, but Falren was being treated shortly before his death. Turned out that the gang of Baphomet's cultists, calling themselves the Labyrinth of Mind, had gotten a foothold at the hospital. As they do. They were obsessed with twisting the minds of their victims, and targeted fragile people too weak to resist. The hospital was filled with perfect victims, isolated for weeks from the outside world, completely helpless. And when they returned, they were different, almost normal. But the moment they heard a certain phrase, something dark awoke in their mind, and they transformed into servants of Baphomet, ready to lie, betray, and even kill. The Labyrinth of Mind was preparing to infiltrate all the elite circles in Mendev, but Baron Falren stopped them. He was too loyal to his oath, and too resistant to their spells. He fought for this freedom until the strain broke his heart. We opened and cleaned the city of Baphomet's pit of vipers. Their den was a cradle of sin and filth. They cast spells on each other, and their loathsome fantasies stepped real from their minds into the world. I'm really taking the writing here. They dreamt the horrible and forbidden things, and they fought like mad. We burned the place to the ground, and slaughtered everyone we could, but the leaders of the cult were able to flee, and they were set upon revenge. They abducted my daughter Luri, who served under my command in the Pathfinder Society. They left me a note full of tart insults, mockery, and sneers. From that note, I learned the name of my enemy, the Spinner of Nightmares. A few months later, I confirmed that she was the leader of the Labyrinth of Mind. My hunt had begun. I would get Lowry back at any cost. Hylor grits his teeth with bulldog determination. I need brave and experienced fighters. You can rely on my lads, but you'll have to pay them 4,500 as their standard rate. That amount is unacceptable. I'm sorry, but the Society has established universal rates to avoid competition between Pathfinders in different countries. All right. My companions and I need good training. I will get a great mentor from Absalom. For the first few times, he'll train your fighters free of charge. Oh, cool. Select a character to retrain. Is this how I change my class? Let's see. Oh, wow, you can. That's neat. I already set my portrait. I could change like completely. This is wild. Well, I'm not going to do this now. I'll probably do this like between recordings or something, or I'll cut all this out and I'll show you the aftermath. Ready. Okay, everybody, I've kind of remade the character. I decided to go, I cut out all the work that I did. I decided to change classes. So I'm a Leyline Witch now. So instead of preparing my spells, a Leyline Guardian draws the power casting spells directly from Leylines. A Leyline Guardian is a spontaneous spellcaster. She knows the same number of spells, receives the same number of spell slots per day as the sorcerer of her witch level. Bonus spells granted by a Leyline Guardian's patrons are added to the Leyline Guardian's total spells known at the appropriate levels. Whatever that means. But the thing we can do is, where can I show that to you? Conduit Surge. A first level Leyline Guardian is adept at channeling energy from Leylines to enhance her own spells. The swift action, she can increase her effective caster level for the next spell she casts in that round. I think this is the one you guys were suggesting me to try out. I think I could change my class again if I'm not super happy with this one, but you know, it's probably fine. And then I could become staggered though if I don't pass a fortitude save. And then at 8th level, the caster level increase becomes 1d4. She can use this ability a number of times per day equal to 3 plus her charisma modifier. Oh yeah, so that's a good thing to note. So I put more points in charisma, actually, I think that I did before. And then I took combat casting. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same stuff that I took previously. These are the spells that I chose: Burning Hands and Hypnotism. Your gestures and droning incantation fascinate nearby creatures, living creatures, causing them to stop and stare blankly at you in a dazed condition. Roll 2d4 to see how many total HD of creatures you affect. Atheism, neutral evil. I think I made myself look the same. It might be slightly different. I also changed the voice to aggressive. I think I was in confident.
Interesting. Out of my way.
I think aggressive works better for the way that we look. Okay, let's continue.
I lead, you follow.
Level up. Oh, we have 2 levels to do. That's pretty cool. And we'll just take the same thing. 4 skills. I want to up magic device as much as possible because that kind of bit us in the butt. Not so concerned about trickery anymore. Cool with persuasion. Arcana and world knowledge. We'll be best at that. And our hex. So we had chosen. I wonder if we have. Vulnerability. It looks like we've got different curses to choose from. Can touch a creature to suppress and protect it from negative conditions. Cackle. Cackle madly is a move action. Any creature that is within 30 feet that is under the effects of an evil eye hex. Fortune hex. Protective. Okay. Oh, evil eye. That's what we had. I'm going to take the same stuff. And we got Shocking Grasp. Oh, yeah. The one thing I decided to take was an elemental specialization. So we have like more attacks related spells. But I'm also going to take, I think, support-ish spells, like control spells. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see how it all comes together. I can always change later if I want to, which is kind of cool. And the next level. Magic device. I don't really have good lore religion, eh? Maybe I'll have Camellia go into that then. I could do that too. So we had our first feat. I chose the same thing, combat casting. What is allied spellcaster? With the aid of an ally, you are skilled at piercing the protections of other creatures with your spells. Whenever you are adjacent to an ally who also has this feat, you receive +2 bonus on concentration checks. Yeah. Destructive Dispel? When you successfully make a targeted Dispel check against an opponent, the opponent must succeed a Fortitude save or be stunned. +1 dodge bonus to your AC. Okay. Improved initiative. I'm cool with that. Look at all this stuff. So you can make one spell really powerful. Your spells break through spell resistance more easily than most. +2 bonus on caster level checks. 1d20 plus caster level made to overcome a creature spell. That's pretty cool too. That's honestly probably better. Why are there like not recommended? Huh. So they're recommending point blank shot. +1 bonus on attack and damage rolls with ranged weapons. I think I'll mainly be using spells. So I like this idea. Now it looks like I have... Oh, I did lose the spells that I had learned from scrolls. Okay. Let's do Mage Armor then. Cool, we're back at it. I think we have a different set of spells here now. Conduit Surge, nice. So I cast that, and then I cast another spell to make them stronger. Okay, Sela, what do you think? Sela smiles at you warmly. Hey there, during that march to the dungeon, we never got a chance to exchange a proper greetings. It's high time I shake your hand. That's true. I don't think we ever told her our name. I'd like to know more about you. Of course, ask anything. I'll answer honestly. Where are you from? I'm a little bit from Geb, a little bit from Katapish, but mostly from the Knights of Iomade. I was accepted and began my training at 14. I belong to their ranks more than I belong to any other place. You've come to Mendev by a long road, haven't you? A very long one. Sela looks at you cheerfully. A traveler is expected to have amusing stories. Unfortunately, I have only 3 tales of any interest, and I'd like to save them for our next feast. Otherwise, I won't have anything to show for myself when it's time to start bragging. And that just won't do, especially since I'll win the night with my cautionary tale of a battle with chupacabras. You can't tempt me with a story about fighting chupacabras and then not follow through. What are chupacabras, by the way? Now, let's let her save that for the feast. What a feast it'll be. We'll talk when we celebrate our next victory. What made you become a paladin of Iomade? Sela's gaze sharpens momentarily, then she sighs. That's a serious question and a good one. You should ask it of your companions, but it's a long story. To start with, 12 years ago, I was nothing like the person I am now. I roamed the streets of Solku with the other homeless orphans. I stole. I fought. I was a hired sword for a bit. Not the proper origin for a paladin, is it? Back then, Solku was a city of orphans, widows and widowers. Gnolls decimated the city regularly. My parents were among their victims. People there heard about new deaths before they'd finished mourning their previous losses. One day, a group of knights of Iomade brought a glimmer of hope to the city. But while others saw them as saviors and protectors, I was busy pricing up their noble horses and their gleaming mithril armor, wondering just how much of their pretty swords would fetch. A thief lives one day at a time, that's what they say. I was the type that never thought past the next job. Anyhow, I was able to sneak into the knight's camp and steal one of their mithril helms. Scylla pauses, her voice sad and measured. And I was right there when a gnoll attacked the helm's owner. Asami was her name, and dealt a blow to her unprotected head. A gnoll like all those others she'd fearlessly driven from the gates of Solku. That one blow was fatal. But who really was to blame for her death, the gnoll attacker or the young thief named Scylla? I know what it takes to survive sometimes. I can't judge you. Lawful, even a seemingly small misdeed can have terrible consequences. Chaotic. Life is cruel and full of chaos. Chaotic. Chaos, chaos, chaos. Sometimes survival just comes down to luck. You couldn't have known the consequences of your actions. I couldn't. But I knew full well I was committing a crime. And I targeted someone who came to help my city in a time of trouble. There are times, Luckless, when you can't hide behind I didn't know. But you're asking what brought me into the ranks of Iomade's warriors. We all choose the paladin's path for our own reasons. Some are guided by nobility of spirit, some by a desire to fight injustice. I became who I am through penance and a debt unpaid. The day Asame died protecting my city, I wanted to kill myself for the terrible guilt I felt. But then I realized it wouldn't make the world any better, and I decided that instead I'd try to take her place. I'd become who she had been and protect the innocents that she would no longer be able to protect. Oh, that's a pretty cool story. What are the principles that that Paladins of Iomade follow? Is that one of her 3? She's only got 2 left. There's a Chupacabra one, and then something else we don't know. Silo smiles. I'll tell you. I like to recite our code. It feels like I've said it 1,000 times, but it never gets old. There is strength in these words. After a pause, she begins, her voice slow and meditative. I will learn the weight of my sword. Without my heart to guide it, it is worthless. My strength is not in my sword, but in my heart. If I lose my sword, I have lost a tool. If I betray my heart, I have died. I will have faith in the inheritor. I will channel her strength through my body. I will shine in her legion. And I will not tarnish her glory through base actions. I am the first into battle, the last to leave it. I will not be taken prisoner by my free will. I will not surrender those under my command. I will never abandon a companion, though I will honor sacrifice freely given. I will guard the honor of my fellows, both thought and deed, and I will have faith in them. When in doubt, I may force my enemies to surrender, but I am responsible for their lives. I will never refuse a challenge from an equal. I will give honor to worthy enemies and contempt to the rest. I will suffer death before dishonor. I will be temperate in my actions and moderate in my behavior. I will strive to emulate Iomade's perfection. Thank you. I've learned everything I wanted to know. Oh. Hope I didn't bore you. Ask me something else if you like. Erebus said your friend Jana Eldori is missing. Do you know where we should look for her? Erebeth is worried about her fighters. I understand that. I wanted to look for Jana myself, so I didn't distract you. But since you're in this too, I could use some help. Jana and I met in Canabras a few days ago and just hit it off. We went drinking together. We went to that unforgettable celebration together too, but we got separated in the crowd. So we should start looking from the main square. That's where I last saw her. Sela frowns. Jana's a good fighter. Even if she is green, she couldn't have become an Aldori otherwise. Hope that means she's all right. What do you think of what's going on in Canabras? Friend indeed. Okay. Another request that we can do. It's complete chaos. It's lucky we're here to handle it, right? Sula smiles brightly. Then she gives you a worried look. Does the way I talk bother you? I know I can seem blasé. Many good people and our protector Terendelev died here in Canabras. A paladin of Iomade is expected to be properly respectful and solemn. But I prefer to face my troubles with a smile and a bit of common sense. Grief is a weapon they'll use against you. It can undermine a warrior's spirit. It's better we hold off on grief until we've driven the last demon and cultist from the city. I'm not bothered by how you talk. What matters is how you fight. Now you're talking sense. Well, you can trust that. You can trust in my sword. Is fighting demons all you want, or are you looking for something more? How about covering myself in glory and becoming the hero of 100 ballads? Or at least a dozen, if they're lively ones. Seal's eyes shine cheerfully. Anyway, to be more serious, the area around the World Wound is the best place for a paladin who wishes to defend the weak and serve good. Being part of the crusade is reward enough for me, but there's something that worries me. I don't want to sound like I'm criticizing my brothers in arms, but the Eagle Watch and the other orders are focused on just one aim, the war against the World Wound. That's why they can sometimes overlook the smaller things, ordinary misfortunes, you know? I always liked being a wandering knight because any moment I could get up and go help a poor rat folk whose family had been kidnapped, or an old woman whose favorite dog had gone missing. So here's my answer. I don't have some big important goal, but I'll be happy to help those who need it, a little bit here and there. Thank you for speaking with me. Until next time. See ya. Oh my god, have I spoken to everyone? Loot. Yes. Hylor and the Spinner of Nightmares. Oh, this is the book about this dude. Let's read that later. Guys, there's more. Purifying solution. Looks like these are just foreign autumn haze. Oh, okay. I was like, it looks like these are just like casual conversation people. A tall, fragile-looking elf sits in front of you, eyes closed. He is pale as a ghost, his arm wrapped in a blood-stained bandage. You spot other bandages on his body under his clothes, but even in such a miserable state, he manages to keep calm. Raising his eyes to meet yours, he says faintly, I am Foreign Autumn Haze at your service. I like that name. Pale lips are reddened by blood, but you see no signs of pain or fear in his gray eyes. Who are you? My name is Foreign Autumn Haze. I've come here from Kionan, because I am a hunter, and all minions of evil are my quarry. I won't say more than that, if you don't mind. We are strangers, and of different races and cultures. I'd rather not tell you more than is necessary. Alright, I have to go. Certainly, I won't keep you any longer, he smiles softly. And thank you for sparing some time for a wounded stranger. I appreciate it. It's hunting evil people. I don't think we want to go to the basement. So, if we leave, who's going to be in our party exactly? Let's see what happens.